Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Brehm. In today's video I want to showcase you guys some arena games around 2k MMR. Reason is because a lot of you guys ask me for tips and tricks regarding Outlaw Rogue, especially those in arenas. And a lot of you guys ask me for very detailed videos going over every little tidbit information, what happens in arena, why I do the things that I do. So this is that kind of a video. I will say this, since the patch 7.15, the spec of Outlaw did get a few changes that made it less viable for arenas. The main change in particular being true bearing nerf. Granted, it is still my favorite spec to play for PvP, and it's still possible to enjoy the spec at an above average level arenas. Since the changes, Outlaw became considerably worse in arenas with healers, unless you play with a Holy Paladin or a Disc Priest who are specifically spec'd for damage, as you simply don't bring enough damage, but you do have Tricks of Trade, which allows a friendly target to deal 50% more damage, so unless you want to be running with a healer, you might want to change up your strategy. As an Outlaw Rogue, you still are a powerful spec to play in arenas with a double DPS comps. Double DPS is definitely less competitive, because of the most healer based comps have an innate advantage in the 2v2 ladder. But it's not impossible to do well as double DPS, it's just more challenging. There are some classes and specs that Outlaw has really good synergy with when it comes to playing double DPS in arenas. Some comps will hard counter you, but that's just the fact of the game. You guys have seen many of my 2v2 videos of me playing with Ilpilgrim, who plays a Fury Warrior, so let's analyze what a Fury Warrior brings. We'll play with the Fury Warrior. The Warrior brings in massive bursts on a very short cooldown, an AoE Fear to combo into my sap, and a Rallying Cry. Execute can help you finish off targets that are at low health, which is kind of something we're banking on in most of these games. To analyze our comp, our advantage is burst. Our survivability is something we can also leverage in games that last longer than our one shot permits. The first comp we face is an Assassination Rogue Priest. It is a very durable, very viable, very powerful comp ever since the Assassination Rogue changes. Now that they have blind and on top of that amazing damage, Disc Priest Assassination is a pretty common comp you should see in arenas. Now, one of the things that we like to do with this comp is have me sit in stealth, let Ilpilgrim wail on the priest or whatever healer the rogue might normally be running with. Let me just sit in stealth while Ilpilgrim collects all of his resources. While you're sitting back as a rogue, you should be spamming your sap macro, because otherwise things like these can happen. Normally it's better for us to get the opener, but it's okay for the other team to get it as well. I want to pause this right here. One of the things that we like to do with Ilpilgrim is to fear the Assassination Rogue's burst. Once an Assassination Rogue gets all their bleeds, gets all their damage, once they have every single dot rolling, especially against a double DPS, there's little that me and Pilgrim can do. I'm not running with a Paladin who can just take off those bleeds, so in most cases these guys like to go hard. What Pilgrim likes to do is to fear these rogues, and this is actually a strategy me and him implement often. We fear the rogues, and there's two options. One, the rogue trinkets to continue his offensive pressure, opening him up for a kill. Or two, the rogue sits that fear, then sits a full sap while we wail on the priest, which is much easier to kill for both me and Pilgrim. And in the classic fashion, he trinkets, where me and Pilgrim continue to proceed with a vanish into a cheap shot, Tricks of Trade, all our cooldowns to burst the rogue down. One of the things that Pilgrim was trying to do at this moment is to stun the priest, but he actually jumps down to LOS the stun from Pilgrim. Pilgrim already hit the key binding on his keyboard, thinking that the stun went off, but we were just so bloodlust ready to kill the rogue as soon as that happened. Because the rogue is an orc, he did see the CC a little less than usual. Afterwards, we proceed to hopefully stun lock the priest as best as we can, just trying to recover, trying to hope that the rogue isn't fully recovered in terms of health. But as you can see, he's basically up to full, he has evasion, and he is gunning for blood. All I can do at this point is try to survive. I just try to grapple and hook away, trying to LOS him as best possible, allowing Pilgrim to just slow the rogue and sit on him, be the most annoying warrior in the world, rooting the guy, slowing him, not letting him run anywhere. The rogue and the priest are not going to swap on Pilgrim. He is way too tanky and he can take a lot of damage. Most of the rogue's damage is gone since Vendetta is out of the way. So this is our recovery right here. At this point you gotta analyze the situation, and in most cases players have a few seconds to do so. I see that the rogue and the priest do not have stun DRs. I communicate with Pilgrim if he has a stun, he does. I have a Mark for Death and Between the Eyes ready, I have Tricks of Trade ready. We actually have a pretty good setup for our buffs in terms of roll the bones, so we actually can push out some damage. I don't want this rogue to Shadow Step Kidney me, I don't want this priest to fear me or anything, so I'm telling Pilgrim as the priest is running to me to stun the priest. As soon as that happens, I get in the line of sight of the rogue and instantly stun him as soon as I can before any Shadow Step Kidney shenanigans can happen, and then we proceed to burst him down again. I pop Tricks of Trade, which is enough damage for both me and Pilgrim. Pilgrim has his cooldowns back available all over again, and right before the stun runs out on the priest, Pilgrim hops over to the priest in a single leap and then uses his Blood of Silence just to give us a little bit extra room, while I am left trying to DPS the rogue down as fast as possible. And that's how we won the game. Normally, in most of these games, we kind of want to get a fast game. We want to get an opener, we want to get a trinket early, we want to get some kind of a CC setup and kill either the rogue or the priest. Both of us have the damage to kill one or the other, and in most cases, it's easier to kill the priest if the rogue is AFK. I have a game for you guys just showcasing exactly how much damage we can push out on a priest alone. But before that, please enjoy the live version of the game to see exactly how fast these games happen.
I got sapped. Come on, rogue, come on out. Can't hit this guy? Wait, hello? Are you serious? I literally can't hit him.
I saw you were right on top of him.
What is this game, dude?
I think they're actually just gonna wait. That'd be ridiculous if they did. I think they are, yeah. They would have to come out. They would have to come out because you can just heal through that guy.
Yeah, I should be able to heal through this guy. Fishing for rogue, man. I think I can hit this guy. I just can't hit him. What is this fucking lag, man?
Oh my goodness.
Get out of here with that garbage. Rogue ever gonna come out? No?
Good question. No idea. I could open up, and then the rogue would definitely open up. I found the rogue. He's at me. He's at me. He's at me.
Oh shit. Okay. They're gonna go on me, huh?
Come in, fear rogue. Fear rogue from me. Fear rogue now.
Yeah, I'm gonna come fear. Fear.
Yeah.
Feared him. He triggered. I'm blindfold.
I'm going in hard.
I'm going with you right here. It's pain sub.
Blind him. Take that.
Rogue's evasion here.
Come on, I'm just having to run. I'm vendetta. He's on me right now.
Okay. He's on me now. That's a 2-second stun. Okay. He wasted kidney on me. Throwing them both down.
Got a bit of poison left on me.
Want me to stun this rogue or the other guy?
Stun the other guy when I tell you, alright?
Yes.
Stun the other guy now. And we're gonna go rogue.
Burst in here, man. Big damage. I'm gonna silence the other guy.
Yep.
Silence him there. Kill! Got him!
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
That Fury Warrior burst, dude. That Fury Warrior burst. And you have it, what, like every minute?
Well, sometimes sooner. Just put it on rocks.
Oh, okay. Does it get reduced with like your what procs does it reduces it?
It's just sometimes the abilities that I do.
Oh, just randomly?
Yeah, so what?
Now let me give you guys a very hypothetical game, because you're not gonna see a lot of double DPS versus double DPS anywhere above like 1800 MMR. In most cases, you'll see games where it's healer DPS versus double DPS if you are the double DPS. One of these games is double mage game with a ton of damage potential from both mages. I'm seeing the Mark of Luneth coming out from the Arcane Mage and a massive Pyroblast coming out for Pilgrim. I decided to make this game into a 1v1 by CCing the mage as best as I can, trying to ease off some pressure off Pilgrim. At this point, Pilgrim tells me that he is going to burst and we basically have to knock one of these guys out as soon as possible. I cloak offensively and pop all my cooldowns in order to support Pilgrim. Again, the main goal is to knock one of these guys out as soon as possible, so we continue with massive burst. He temp shield the first time and we actually burned through a whole set of health for the guy. At this point, this is where we actually have our game set. Now that we established our advantage and the Fire Mage is in a really bad position, I don't want to sit any CC. I want to be there to combine any CC and lineups for Pilgrim and support him, so I vanish and simply sit in stealth until something happens. I mean, match, set, and game. It was fairly easy as long as you're doing everything right as a rogue. One thing you don't want to be doing is sitting CC, especially against casters, because once you start sitting CC, it's easy to combo more crowd control on you. We're dealing with mages that have block, that have polymorphs, that have slows, that have kiting capabilities, and massive burst, and that's something we simply just don't want to be dealing with. It's much more difficult when two characters, like both mages, are hitting Pilgrim at the same time. So instead of having a situation in a 2v1, I want to make it a 1v1 by providing my CC. I'm willing to throw away blind in the opener just to make sure the arcane mage doesn't get a powerful opener, because Pilgrim is already having a hard time dealing with a fire mage. He doesn't need a fire mage and arcane both hitting him. One of the other things I did do as well is not set any CC, because I was able to maximize as much damage as I could while cloak was up, and as soon as cloak was down, I vanished just out of sight, out of mind.
Got him out. Okay. I'm polyfull?
Yeah.
He went invisible? Oh
yeah,
shit.
you
I'm
didn't go
I'm gonna spam reflection.
Blind the arcane, I blinded the arcane. Let's go fire, let's go fire.
Go, burst in here, man. Find some. Kill. I popped everything. Kill this guy. Oh my god.
Let's send the stealth, I'm gonna send the stealth. As soon as this guy's out, I killed him.
Nice.
Oh my god, I fucked up, I fucked you up.
I sent him here, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, fine.
In most cases, even if the game does look like it's in your favor, one of the things I like to do personally is to stay in the game as if the enemy still has a chance to win. Because what if the arcane mage does pull out some kind of crazy burst? I mean, chances are it is difficult with two massive melee just wailing on the guy, just brute forcing it through. It is very difficult, especially with an Outlaw rogue that can gouge you and kick you and stun you and rotate those CC back to back, literally giving you zero time to play. But I still do like to take every single game I do play as serious as possible, and it's a good thing to do, especially when you're somebody trying to improve at the game on a regular basis. And finally, the last game I have for you guys is the optimal game you would really want to end up playing when you're playing with a Fury Warrior. And I guess this is also accounts for maybe playing with a Frost Death Knight, because Frost Death Knights are not really that tanky and don't have that amazing of survivability. This is the kind of game you would have with an Arcane Mage or maybe even a Frost Mage. But with a Fury Warrior in particular, with how much burst they bring, this is the most optimal game you want to have. Usually you don't want the games to last too long. You want to hit the enemy hard, you want to hit them fast, and some of the healers are much easier to deal with than others. In most cases, a Restoration Druid will open up with hots as soon as possible, just trying to hot himself up, trying to hot up the DK, and they want to have a slow game. This allows you as an Outlaw rogue to get to the Druid as soon as possible and catch him outside of form. Afterwards, you simply need to rotate your CC in proper order and score the kill. I started the Druid off in a cheap shot, and I had to vanish to get the cheap shot because of death and decay. In most cases, healers will not trinket the first cheap shot, and if they do sit the whole duration, that's at least 4 seconds of a stun. Afterwards, we continue with our CC combination. As soon as Pilgrim sees the Druid trinket, he follows up with a Blood of Racial, allowing him to silence the Druid from being able to run away or use any of the spells. I follow up my Blood of Silence right afterwards because I was waiting for my Between the Eyes, and as soon as I could Between the Eyes on the Druid, I use it. The Druid literally didn't get any breathing room between those stuns. I follow up with another stun, and we kill him through Bark Skin without bear form. Druids are especially tanky once you get them in a bear form, but because they do have hots to set up, this is one of the things that you can use them as an Outlaw. In most cases, this is how you want to deal with healers. You want to be able to burst them down and anticipate their trinket. There are two methods of anticipating their trinket, and that could be a whole nother video, but you can either try to predict it and try to use a Blood of Silence when you think the enemy is going to trinket, or if you have really good attention span to the game and really good reaction time, you can use the ability as soon as you see the trinket. So that's two ways of going about it. Now let me show you the full speed up version of that game. Alright, so how do we want to do this? I feel like killing Resto is going to be the way to go. Save everything until we can truly go Resto and then go Resto.
I feel like this Druid's too smart, man.
I don't know, dude. I think I can get him this time. I think this time I got this.
Got this? I got this.
I think this time I do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
my life is in your hands, literally.
Trust me, fam. Trust me.
Yeah, if you fuck up, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I die first here. You know.
Save your burst. Save your burst.
Yep.
So let's say we go in.
Just say when, buddy.
Yeah. I do.
Yep. Good luck, bro, Chacho.
This is a different team. This is a different team.
He died.
Go.
I'm trying to get up there, dude. I cannot. It will not let me. Oh my god, go. That's such shit. Can't even shift. I silenced him. I silenced him. I couldn't shift. Yeah,
let's just not die here. Let's just not die here, my man.
He can't kill me once you Focus on you. Thank God. Stun this guy here. Take him IVF. Here, I'm here.
Oh, he's trying to kill me now. I'm
He's
out of
dead.
here. Oh my god! Oh my god, he wanted me! Double DPS arenas are not impossible. They are very challenging, and if you're somebody who wants either more challenge out of the game, or wants to improve at playing your class, or simply wants to play with a bunch of friends, double DPS is something that you technically can do. Do understand, and I am going to emphasize this, it is challenging, and the cards are going to be, in most cases, against you, because healers simply are currently stronger in the 2v2 ladders. I did make a bunch of videos talking about, hey, how about we change that, but you can't really do much unless you're a developer with behind the screen controls of everything. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you are planning on playing a comp and you have a question of whether this comp will have good synergy, you guys are more than welcome to ask that comment here in this video down in the comments below. And I'll be able to tell you guys whether I think this kind of combination will work and why it won't, and be able to assist you in any way. I will be more than glad to help you guys out as best as I can. If you guys want to see more videos like these, if you want to see more in-depth videos on the channel, be sure to voice that opinion in the comments below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I very much hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one.